there's probably going to be a lot of people disputing some of what I'm about to say, and that's okay. I'm going to link the sources that I have and let everybody know that, this is exactly why these types of videos should be made and will continue to be made, because I just feel it's important. Like, there's this narrative that goes along that, everything is so bad on Xbox and things are failing, when honestly that couldn't be further from the truth in a lot of this instances. And there's 100% proof to actually showcase that, hey, this isn't something that is actually bad or that's negative for Xbox. So trust me, I'm used to that, because you're looking at the guy who was out there basically making sure that Xbox got its fair comeuppance and fair due last generation for years, and I was one of the few that was actually doing that. When everybody else was busy crapping on Xbox nonstop, I was, giving it props and saying that, hey, you know what, it's not bad, it's not doing terrible. People really need to kind of get their heads out of their behinds when it comes to this stuff. And now we've got even more interesting news for this, so I can't wait to get into it. I'm sure it's going to be a polarizing topic and a polarizing video, and it's going to be one that you definitely don't want to miss. Trust me when I tell you that it's going to be good. Hey there everyone, I'm the Crapgamer, and this of course is Crapgamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice a few cool changes around here, and hopefully that doesn't stop you from leaving us a like, and possibly maybe even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It really does mean the world to me. You guys are simply amazing and fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Now, when it comes to Xbox, right, I've always looked at Xbox as, and even though Microsoft will tell me I'm wrong when I say this, but I always look at Xbox as a console. I get that it's an ecosystem and you can play it on a phone or a watch or a PC or whatever, but to me it's always going to be a console. And that's where the majority of people are going to play, and that's where the majority of people kind of look to and look at as when they hear something called an Xbox. Now, the interesting thing here is Microsoft really tried to kind of rebrand PC into Xbox. Xbox is PC. They tried to do this. I don't think it really worked the way that they wanted to, because they rebranded Game Pass to Game Pass on PC, not just Xbox Game Pass, because they want people to know, hey, it's here on PC too. The problem is, I'm just not sure that that's ever going to work out the way that they wanted to. But anyway, a lot of people use like the Steam charts and things like that as a way to say, Halo failed. And trust me, I'm not the biggest Halo proponent when it comes to the multiplayer and things like that. I think that what Microsoft is doing is fantastic. But again, doesn't tell the whole story. I see a lot of people saying, hey, well, you know what? It's Halo has completely fallen off Steam, etc., etc. I've always said that it's foolish to go after that Steam player base or whatever, and I'm not saying that they haven't done some good there, like Sea of Thieves sold like 5 million copies or whatever. I think on a certain instances and case-by-case basis, yes, it makes a lot of sense to do something like that. But when it comes to like Halo, I think they were really counting on Halo to be bigger on PC than it ends up being. But now we at least know that when it comes to Xbox, Halo is doing extremely well. So Halo Infinite has held the top spot now for most played Xbox games for 7 weeks in a row, with Fortnite having been bumped down to second. The rest of the top 5 fills out with Forza Horizon 5 at third, Modern Warfare, GTA 5 having switched places, winding up at 4th and 5th respectively. Lower down, Among Us has slipped out of the top 10, having fallen 3 spaces to 10th, while Destiny 2 just missed out on a spot in the top 10, having risen 1 place to 11th. It's a quieter chart this week with no new appearances. Sea of Thieves have sailed up an impressive 9 spaces to 19th, while Aliens Fireteam Elite has dropped to 22nd, and Gang Beasts has fought its way up from 30th to 26th. Under Far Cry 6, which has jumped up 10 places to 30th, and PUBG Battlegrounds, which has climbed from 35th to 31st. Now we have a wave of games falling down the charts, including recent Game Pass additions. The Gunk, which has dropped 9 places to 35th. Then we have this week's reappearances, Gears 5 at 36th, Minecraft at 37th, and NBA 2K22 at 39th. This week's disappearances are Battlefield 2042, Warframe, and FIFA 21. Looking ahead, there's a whole lot of 2022 still ahead of us, with months of major releases and Xbox Game Pass additions to come. Rainbow Six Extraction launches this month, while Elden Ring follows in February. So yeah, it is pretty incredible to see that, so many things are happening in the gaming world with Xbox. And you can look at the most played Xbox games right now. Anybody can do that, and these are ones just on strictly console. And Halo Season 1 comes in at 4th overall via this chart, right? So you'll have Fortnite, you have Call of Duty Warzone Pacific, you have Grand Theft Auto Online, and then you have Halo, then Apex, then Roblox, then Forza 5, then Rainbow Six Siege, then Call of Duty Vanguard, then Madden, then Minecraft, and then NBA. So you have Halo right in the thick of things, right where it belongs, right where, people probably don't want to believe that, hey, this thing is doing so well. And, guess what? This is something that everybody should be kind of talking about, because I think it does prove a lot of those Xbox haters, or some of the PlayStation, I don't want to say fanboys, but some of the ones that really push the narrative that Halo's dead or whatever. Listen, it behooves us all to look at Halo as being very much alive and very much in the thick of things, right? And the reason why I would say that that makes a lot of sense is because we want these big bangers to continue to absolutely go out there and be bangers, right? We don't need a world where the opposite is happening, right? Like I'm trying to be as honest with everybody as I can. We want Halo to continue to be a Halo and sell well and do well. We want, I want Gears to do that. I want, the God of War and Uncharted and Zelda's. We need these big franchises to all do well across the board. And at least according to this, which I will link this site, which is using the True Achievement site, which actually is able to kind of do what it does by kind of ranking over 2 million accounts that they have and going, hey, this is something that we're able to kind of do, and this is how we're able to come up with these numbers. And like I said, anybody can go and look at what these numbers are. Anybody can go and look on Google it, most played Xbox games, and you can click on the Microsoft Store chart and it'll link all of these games. And what's funny is even stuff like it goes down to the top 50 games, and even Halo Master Chief Collection is on this chart, Sea of Thieves is on this chart, Among Us, Red Dead Redemption 2. There's just a lot of stuff on this chart, and there's a lot of things to kind of talk about when it comes to most played games and things like that. I think Halo will continue to ebb and flow. I wouldn't expect it to be in the top 5, all the time, but I do feel like it'll ebb and flow quite a bit, and we'll continue to see that happen in the future, because as it gets new content, we'll see people flock back to it, and then if it loses content, we'll see people not not go to it. So yeah, I think that it'll really depend on what's going on. So yeah, like to me, I think people will probably continue to celebrate the end of it. Oh, it's the end of Halo, blah blah blah. But you know what? Listen, it's not though. Like, this is what happens to these service games. They'll get new content, and then people will go back to them. It's just the way these things are. So, with that being said, I do appreciate any and all feedback. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. If you do enjoy my content, consider leaving a like. I would appreciate it. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crapgamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crapgamer out.